This is sample question paper released by CBSE Social Science for 2021. So this type of question is going to come. You have to prepare like this. This is 3-hour question paper, 80 marks. So in all, there are 5 sections. There are 32 questions in all. 5 sections, 32 questions. First is 1 to 16. So these are 1 marks question. And then we have 17 to 22. That is 3 marks. Around 60 to 80 words you have to write. And if you want to explain more, welcome. Section C, 23 to 26, around 4 marks. 27 to 31, 5 marks. So 5 marks, we generally write around 120 plus words. Section E, this is map based question carrying 5 marks. So there are 2 parts, one from history, 2 marks, and another from geography, that is 3 marks. Okay. So what I suggest always is that map based question are more scoring and it takes less time. So first you do the map and do the others later. And mostly these 5 marks question, whichever you know very well, then also because it is giving you 5 marks. Internally there will be different choices which we will be discussing upon. Okay. There is no other choices, but inside we will have or. So that we are going to see as the time comes. This is the short question, and different types of questions are there. Identify the correct statement with regard to the Act of Union 1707. 1707, that is 1707. So this was the act. The answer is C. The formation of United Kingdom of Great Britain. So this is United, that is why we call it as United Kingdom. That is why we see Ireland is different and UK is different. UK. Because in the Great Britain means England and Scotland. So the act of union between England and Scotland that was passed in 1707. And this was known as the Treaty of Union. Union ki sandhi. That is the creation of Great Britain. So this was the political union of Kingdom of England, which was already there, and the Kingdom of Scotland. They had Raja Rani, King, Queens, and now it was a act of union that combined these two. Which of the following treaty recognized Greece as an independent nation? Greece. So the answer is, where it was properly recognized Greece as an independent nation, the answer is Treaty of Constantinople. Treaty of Constantinople. The answer is why it is. The explanation of this is, under this treaty, this Greece was recognized as an independent nation, Swatantra Desh, independent nation. So this Treaty of Constantinople ki Sandhi, was a part of Constantinople Conference which began in 1832. And here France, Britain and Russia at that time, they were the supreme powers, great powers. One side, the other side it was Ottoman Empire, basically Turkey and others. So this was a participation of conference, and in this Greece was given independent nation. Which of the following was the reason of calling off the non-cooperation movement by Gandhiji? NCM, non-cooperation movement. There is another question coming in the later part which is asking about non-cooperation movement. So we'll discuss about this in detail. But what we have to see here is Gandhiji never wanted any kind of violence. He wants everything to be peacefully. Even if you have some trouble, you have problem, you do andolan, you do protest with all non-violence. So non-cooperation movement was the non-cooperating of, because he just said don't cooperate with the Britishers. Asahयोग Andolan. So answer is Chauri Chaura incident, because what happened here is the Congress procession of around 3,000 plus farmers, peasants, They were fired upon by the police in Chauri Chaura. It's at Gorakhpur. So the police fired at these farmers, and the angry crowd of 3,000 plus, they got angry. So they set this police station on fire. And because of this after effect of angry crowd setting up the fire, 21 policemen got killed. 21 policemen. And when Gandhiji came, this incident came into notice, because he always emphasized no violence, only peaceful procession, only peaceful thing. Okay? And because this violence came, Gandhiji withdrew the movement in 1922. Now let us fill in the blank. So the first is business. One of them you have to do, not both. So business process outsourcing is an example of BPO, IT industry. Now if you purchase anything, say computer or IT thing, if you have any problem, you call customer care and they will solve your problem. Okay? And who are going to solve your problem? These people of BPO only. So information technology is the answer of the first one. Second, fill in the blanks. If you choose the second one, Green Revolution has helped dash industry to expand in different parts of India. The answer is fertilizer, or you can also answer as agro-based. Right? There are different answers possible. Fertilizers, this is given by CBSE, and now we have agro-based, because fertilizer is required if you want green revolution. By basic compost, and this is not possible. You have to have fertilizer. So as I was telling, you also can have agro-based as the answer here. Choose the correctly matched pair about the primitive cultivation in India from the following option. So if we talk about Madhya Pradesh, we have certain agriculture practices that are conventional, means they were traditional, coming from long time or long back, right? So Dahiya, Madhya Pradesh, you need to know about this Podu also, because Dahiya and Podu, these are two agriculture practices. These two, why? Because they are similar. So there are two agriculture practices. One, Dahiya belongs to Madhya Pradesh, prevalent in Madhya Pradesh, and Podu in Andhra Pradesh. And they are kind of similar practices. That is why I'm giving you an idea of Podu also. And this is known as shifting cultivation or jhuming. Jhuming means slash and burn. That means specially practiced by the tribal people, Janjatiya log. Okay. So what do they do in this jhuming or slash and burn? They will take a piece of land or find out a piece of land, and they will just burn this area. So the rock or the ashes, they will use it as the fertilizer or whichever way you think, and they will cultivate here. Once the land loses its fertility, they will go to another place. That is the fertility. They will grow certain crops, and then they will go to another place, and they will do the same thing there also. This is called shifting cultivation, slash and burn. That is how Dahiya, Madhya Pradesh, you can relate. Okay, fill in the blanks. Now in this fill in the blanks, you see barley is Rabi crop, cotton is a Kharif crop. So what is the crop which is Zaid crop? Zaid or Zaid crop? The answer is cucumber. Now we already discussed this when we were doing theory. So let me give you a hint also here. See, Kharif fasal is a monsoon crop because it needs high water requirement. Kharif crop. So from July to October. This is, see, rice is there. Rice needs a lot of water. Rice, maize, jowar, bajra, soybean, cotton, groundnut, jute, urad dal, moong dal, tur dal. These all are Kharif fasal. From July to October. Rabi. This is a winter crop. Winter crop. October to February. So this is the time where northern part of India is facing or winter there. So wheat, barley, gram, peas, mustard, these are Rabi crops. Coming to Zaid crop. Zaid crop is a summer crop. It's a summer crop. So this Z, the time in between this, Rabi and Kharif, watermelon, muskmelon, cucumber, vegetable and fodder crops, right? These are Z crops. So the answer of this question will be cucumber, kakadi. Identify the soil with the help of the following features. So first is given is red to brown in color. It's not black, it's red to brown. Bhuri, lal bhuri, red to brown. It's not black, right? So almost we are having an idea now. Sandy in texture and saline in nature. Sandy will be only near wherever we have arid or semi-arid region, and there is no moisture, there is humus also is lacking. So we are talking about arid soil. I hope you got the idea. We are talking about arid soil. It lacks humus and moisture. Sandy in texture, saline in nature, red to brown in color. So all these three we can match this with arid soil. Arid soil. Sukhi mitti, sandy mitti, marusthaliya mitti. So I'll just give you an idea and you will be, relate this. See, this is the Rajasthan area and here water is less. So that is how this arid yellow region is Rajasthan area. You get all this kind of soil. Now you see this belt, this is alluvial soil because we have a lot of many rivers, Ganga, Yamuna. You can say this is a Doab region or belt. So you get what? You get good alluvial soil. You go up, you will have mountainous or forest kind of area. A type of millet rich in iron, calcium and other micronutrients and roughage is millet mota anaj. Not rice and wheat, but more than that. So we call it as millet. So this is, see, ragi. Ragi is the answer here. So let us see here, we have millets here. And we have millets, in this millets we have jawar, bajra and ragi. And these are all the kharif crops. And if you see here, there are two, bajra and ragi have very high nutritional value. That is what the question is asking. And all this thing is better related to ragi than the other one. Ragi is the answer. Population of Sri Lankan Tamils is concentrated in dash region of Sri Lanka. Now this is the map of Sri Lanka. So ethnicity, basically we have Sinhalese, Sri Lankan Tamil, Indian Tamil and Muslim. So the question is asking about Sri Lankan Tamil. So what about Sri Lankan Tamil? That is around, a kind of orange color if you see. So you can relate, ethnicity is some culture you can relate. Okay. Because Sikhs, you can find out they are having turbans. So the question being asked here is that we are talking about Sri Lankan Tamil. So it's upper region, that is the north region, and the eastern region, that is the right region. So this is the area we are talking about. So north and east is the answer. Others also you can see, Sinhalese, most of the part, and the central part is mostly Indian Tamil. So north and east is the answer. North and east. North, this is east. Now these two questions are in OR. You have to answer either of this. Both the questions have similar answer actually. So define majoritarianism. Majoritarianism. So majoritarianism and ethnicity, they are quite related. So let me answer it. Majoritarian means, let me give an example first. See, if you take an example, say India or Sri Lanka, we have mostly in India, we have Hindus and around 13 to 14% Muslims and other ethnicity like Sikhs and Jains and Buddhists, etc. Now what will happen? Hindu are big brothers and Muslims are their younger brother. So it's the responsibility of the big brother to take care of the small brother. That happens. But if what happens, these are big and small brothers I am trying to emphasize. Now what happens that the big brother is not saving the Muslims or the small brother, rather they are attacking the Muslims. Means the Hindus trying to kill Muslim or trying to do everything that make them more marginalized. For example, in Sri Lanka, Sinhalese are in majority and Tamils are in minority. So the Sarkar, the government, the constitution, every government firm, they started doing everything so that the Tamils don't get their proper rights. So the Sinhalese majority, they did everything to do the majoritarianism. They were not acting as a big brother, rather they were attacking this Tamil. That is why this LTT was formed, and rest is history. So it's always good for you to understand that if you are majority, try to help others. Ethnicity means a social division based on shared culture, people. For example, in Sri Lanka, Sinhalese and Tamilians are there. So you can easily find them. There is a social division which is based on certain culture, people belonging to same ethnic group, and they have beliefs, and they are coming from a common descent. For example, this Sinhalese is mostly Buddhist. Tamils have all the religion. Which administrative authority legislates on residuary subjects? And the second one is which administrative authority legislates a union list? So we are talking about the residuary. Which authority means is it either it's union government or the state government or the Panchayati Raj or the local body. So the administrative authority who will make the laws on residuary subject, or the answer is on the union list. The answer is union. Both the answers are union. See, there are certain lists. One is union list. So union or central government can make rules on this or laws. Then we have the state subjects or state list. So this residuary subjects are those the list which are not in union and state list. The state list, all the Rajya Sarkar will make the laws on this, and there is a concurrent list. Union and state can both make it. Residuary means when our constitution was being made, and after that, what happened? There were certain things came like IT industry and various things came. Those were kept in the residuary list. Computer software was not there. E-commerce was not there at that time. Now it has come. So all these are kept in residuary subjects. And now union or center or the central government can make the laws on this. Right? So we can answer both of these as union or center. Union or central government or union government. Both the answers are same. Read the given data and find out which country has most equitable distribution of income. So first of all, there is a data. 5 countries are there, A to ABCD, and 5 citizens are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the salaries of or monthly income of these citizens of this country. So what is equitable? See, there are 3 people. One is getting 120 rupees, other is getting 100 and other is getting 110. So you will say that we are almost earning around, make it 90, almost earning around 100. So it's kind of equitable. So equally, amount is equally distributed. Now if I give you another example of the same, one is earning 1000 rupees, the other one is earning 500 and third one is earning 100. So it is not equitable. These are not equitable because there is a huge difference between the salaries of these 3. It is not equitable. It's not equitable. So that is what exactly you have to see here. So average is when you add the salaries of these 5 and divide it by 5. Average has come from adding 5 of the row number, the different rows, all the cells of this row and adding and dividing it by 5. So let us take an example C. 4,200, around 4,200. 4,200 is the average. But if you take a difference of 400 from it, you will see 3800. Now coming to 7500 and this 4200, assume it to be 4200. So 7500, so the difference is 3300. So this also seems to be equitable, almost equitable, but there is a difference. 500 rupees difference is there. Now come to 10,500. Now when you take the difference between 4,000 and 10,000, assume it to be 4,000, 10,000, the difference of this, the average and the 10,000 is too much. It is not equitable. But if you take country A, you see the difference between all these columns and the average is almost similar. That is, all are above 10,000 rupees and all are below 11,000 rupees except citizen number 2. That is, the average income is between 10,000 and 11,000 except 2. The difference between 2 and average is also very less. So this is equitable. This is equitable. Read the information given below and select the correct option. So we'll understand this by reading. Okay. So Mohan is an agriculture laborer. There are several months in a year. Agriculture labor. So he is working as a labor in agriculture. Right? Now, there are several months in a year where he has no work and needs credit to meet his daily expense. That means when he is when the crop is growing, or sowing period, and then it is growing, in the time of growing he has no work, so he has to take loan to meet his daily expenses. Now he depends on the employer, whosoever is the employer or the landowner, for credit, who charges an interest of 5% per month. For example, 100 rupees if you take from him, he'll say you have to give 5 rupees every month. Means if you return, it has to be 105. So Mohan repays the money by working physically for the landowner on his farmland. Now he is working. He is working for landowner, and his interest is going on and on and on because he is not repaying it. Right? Even if he is working, he may be repaying say 20 rupees or 30 rupees. But still for the other amount, the interest is going on, is going. Okay. So over the here, his debt will be. This is a classic example of debt trap. Debt trap. Okay. So always this will increase because he is not having any other job. He is not finding job for round the year. So this is a classic example, as I just mentioned, of debt trap. Okay. So this will increase because of increasing interest and non-payment of monthly amount. He is not paying. First of all, he is not paying. Asal se sood zyada. He is working only with the landowner only. Okay. So the amount and the interest will increase. In order to pay the amount and in the increment, he has to work hard, again take loan for that period of time, and again he will get more loan and more interest on this. Most of the agriculture laborers like Mohan depends upon loans from informal sector. Which of the following statements about this sector is correct? See, one is formal sector, other is informal sector. The difference between them is formal sector like banking, like cooperatives. These are the sector which are organized. They give loan with less amount. Okay. Now informal sector, we have you to take it from any friend or any money lender to anyone. So if you have any problem, you'll go to the money lender. Say 20%, 50% he may charge. But in formal, you will just be charged say 5% or 8%, less than that. So cost of informal loans to the borrower is quite high. This is the answer. C is the answer here. Now the rate in the informal sector is not fixed. It can be very high. And formal sector, it's regularized or done by government, also has control over it. Which one of the following options describe collateral? Collateral. So what happens here? You go to someone, like you come to me, I don't know you, and you say, give me some money. I'll say, I don't know you. I don't know you. So you'll say, okay, keep my watch, keep my mobile. Then if you give me some guarantee and some stuff, I can give you some money. Even if you go to a bank is not knowing you. If you take the money and run, what the bank is going to do? For that, you have to have some asset as guarantee for loan. Along with this asset, you have to have guarantor also. That means this amount, say 100 rupees you are taking, you can't even repay 50. Nobody is going to give you 100 rupees. But if you are earning say 10,000 or having 10,000 of asset, and anybody can give you 100 rupees if you put some asset, because if you give the asset as collateral, you may be given a loan because you have the repaying capability. Read the given statement in context of globalization and choose the correct option. So the answer here is C. This is lead to spread of technology, culture and disease from region to another. So if you see here, globalization is Vaishvikaran. So India company, it's not working in India only, it's also working in New York, it's working in Tanzania, it's working in China. So the company is working everywhere, wherever it is possible. This is globalization. So any technology which is in New York, it can come to India. Tanzania culture can come to India. But there is one more issue. China. If Chinese come here, they can bring COVID. This is also a possibility. This is an example of globalization, right? So these are the things which globalization, the answer is leads to spread of technology, culture and disease from a region to another. Okay. Now in this question which is given here, there are two statements here. Okay. Let me give an answer, the discussion first. So first is assertion and second is this reason. Assertion means you are saying something, and reason means you are giving reason for logic for why you have said this. Now you see a farmer or an IT professional. You have Kisan or the peasant want more production, and IT maybe he want more money or salary hike, or he want to go to offshore for work. Okay. But people want freedom, equality and security and respect. Both of them. Everyone wants freedom, swatantrata, equality, barabari, security, suraksha and respect. Izzat. Everyone wants this. So the answer here is both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. This is the answer. Right? Now coming to section B. This section B, this has